unmute, and then share screen, share sound, everything, share. Okay, and then share. Okay, so ayan. Okay, so we'll be covering 4 topics for today. Okay, 4 short topics. Simplihan lang natin, ano? And maybe we can show you some examples. But before that, ayan, pakita ko lang muna sa inyo yung example. So last time, di ba, inas ko kayo to create a engineering drawing, bill of materials, assembly drawing, assembly chart. Tama po? Ayan, bakit hindi? Okay. And then, sa industry, ganito po yung itsura ng for one part number, and then it is produced sa ganyan. Ganito yung itsura ng bill of materials. Okay, so we have the material number or part number code. We have the quantity needed to produce that finished good. Okay. And then, ayan, ito yung mga production. And then, may mga ilang code, may mga ilang codes pa dyan kung anong level. Ito po yung level, order path, order level. Okay, order level. So, kumbaga, kasi di ba dun sa product structure tree, di ba may para tayong puno siya, yung ating taas, so siya yung part number na ito, and then we have the assembled, yung assembly parts, and then we have the detailed part number, other detailed parts, or other detailed components. So ayan, ganyan yung itsura sa industry. Okay? So hoping nakikita nyo ang screen ko. Okay po? Okay. And then, pakita natin yung product structure tree. Wala. Hindi niya. Ayan. So, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo by level. Ayan eh, interrupted tayo eh. Okay, so we have the finished goods and then we have the, sabihin natin, first level and then second level. Itong pong baba. Level 0, level 1, level 2. So, ganun po ang itsura ng product structure tree. Okay. Okay, so again, pinakita ko lang sa inyo yung example. Siguro antayin lang natin yung iba pang mag-join in, ano? And then by siguro 1:15. Kasi admit ako ng admit ngayon eh. Sige, antayin lang natin yung iba pa. 1:15 then hindi na ako mag-a-admit. Okay, so sabi ko nga for today po, we'll be covering 4 topics. First one natin is, okay, first one natin ay process strategy, then second, capacity planning, and then for the third and fourth, somehow related sa facilities management or facilities planning nyo, which are layout strategies and location strategies. Okay, so why don't we start with the first topic, which is yung process strategy. In here po, we'll be identifying some of the tools na ginagamit natin for some sorts of project, some mapping activities na ginagawa dito sa operations natin, sa mapa production or mapa service. Okay, and at the same time, may di-discuss natin. Okay, and at the same time, mako-cover din natin po yung ilan sa mga process strategies like like for example, mass customization, mass production, process strategy. Kumbaga, yun yung strategy na ginagamit natin sa production kung ba tayo ay we're producing parts na gusto natin madaming klase or gusto natin isang klase lang yung pinaproduce natin. Okay? So, mga ganong klaseng examples. Okay. So, process strategy. So, by the way, this PowerPoint po naman is you can easily download it sa net. Naparami naman pong references ni Heiser. Ano, yung book na ginagamit natin for operations management. Okay. So, talking about that. Okay. So, process strategy, Ang goal natin dito is parang kailangan alam mo as part of the production team, as a manufacturing company, alam mo kung ano ba yung gusto ng customers natin and how will we build our production process that would eventually meet nga yung specs na kailangan ni customers at the least possible cost and adjusting on those managerial constraints. Okay? So dito po hahati po siya in three things. One is mapa yung process mo, specific sa volume or specific sa variety. May mga cases tayo na, okay, yung volume natin, when we talk of volume, it's like gaano kadami yung pinoproduce mo per month, per week, per day. Yan. Okay? So, syempre, bawat industry naman ay iba-iba. It's difficult to compare a production of face mask versus production of, let's say, production of car, automobiles. Okay? Pero pwede sila pareho in their own definition, high volume. Okay? So, they can be the ones who will set if they're producing at a low volume, repetitive, or high volume. Okay? So may mga and then dito po with regards sa variety po yung iba't ibang klase ng items na pinoproduce nila. Okay. Ang tawag po dun sa high variety, okay, maraming klase, but then low volume, siya ay, ang tawag sa process strategy niya is process focused. Okay? Like for example, sa mga printing shops, okay, madaming klase ng maraming klaseng printouts ang pwedeng magawa doon. Okay? Iba't ibang klase. And then normally low yung volume nila. Kokonti pero maraming klase. And then sa mga hospital, ganun din po. 'Di ba? For example, yung doktor, ayan, especially siya sa ganyang aspect. So, kokonti sila, kokonti yung nag-o-offer na ganun, and then they can do several kinds of operations. So, high variety. Okay? And then repetitive, ito kalimitan yun sa mga operations natin, sa mga production. So repetitive naman po, gumagamit siya ng mga standardized parts, standardized modules. Okay, yung mga raw materials natin, pare-pareho. And then, pag yung finished goods naman natin, magkakaibang klase. Okay? So despite using same materials, same raw materials, pag na-produce na natin sa production, ang finished goods natin magkakaibang klase na. Okay? And then normally, yun nga, hindi siya ganun kababa yung volume kasi we're always eyeing for a batch production kasi less yung cost doon. Ayan, so masasabi natin na repetitive yung process na yun. And then, dito naman po, low yung variety, almost same naman ng ating output, pero maraming same, okay. Almost the same yung klase na pinoproduce natin, pero mataas yung ating output. For example, excuse me. Ayan, mga cakes natin. Halimbawa, nag-produce ka ng maraming cakes. Okay? So, ayan. And then, beer na pare-pareho naman ang klase. Halimbawa, din sa cigarette. Di ba? Okay? Mataas yung volume nila. And then, kokonti namang klase yung kanilang pinuproduce. Okay? So, yan po yung differences ng tatlo. And we have another one, which is yung mass customization. Mataas yung variety, pero mataas din yung volume. Okay? Later on, we can cite a few examples here. Pero definitely, ayaw naman natin na magkaroon tayo ng low volume and then kokonti lang din yung ating pinuproduce na parts. Okay? So, ayan. Goal nga po dito sa process strategy, mag-come up tayo, ma-define lang natin kung anong strategy yung gagamitin such that mamimit natin or exceed yung customer requirements and ma-address natin yung mga managerial constraints and ma-meet natin yung target cost natin. Okay, so ito yung iba't ibang klaseng strategies. Actually, pag naman nasa industry ka na, ayan, tawag na lang sa kanya, repetitive yung production eh. We're just here to define ano-anong klase sila. So we'll not walk through specifically kung yung bang production na yun is for product focus, process focus, or so. Okay, but here, nandyan naman mamaya, okay, yung differences nung apat na ito. Okay, so sa process focus nga po, high degree of product flexibility. Okay, and then, ano pa bang kailangan dito? Ayan, low volume and high variety. Okay, and intermittent processes. Hindi laging tuloy-tuloy. Okay, mababa yung volume, iilan lang yung ating ginagawang ganun. Pero, ayan, iba't ibang klase. Halimbawa, ito, for the hospital, there are several surgeries needed, ito, and then there are ganyan. Okay, di ba? Hindi naman sabay-sabay gawin yung mga surgeries na yun. So, low volume. But then, yung tao or yung mga doctor na mag-ooperate, pwedeng iba't iba yung kanilang ginagawa. So, high variety. So, many different outputs are uniquely treated. Okay? And then, repetitive production, ito kalimitan sa mga production, they're using yung modules or mga standardized parts or nag-undergo sila nung tinatawag or yung facilities nila ay naka-organize in assembly line. Okay, example, ayan, yung raw materials halos siguro pare-pareho yan and then we'll come up with different outputs, different combinations of outputs. So ganito po kalimitan yung repetitive production. So, ayan, pare-pareho lang sila. Yan, naka-modules or may assembly line na sila. May mismong flow na silang sinusunod dito. Okay, and then product focus naman po, high volume, pero kukunti lang yung variety. Yun nga po, sa ngayon, face mask, I think that can be treated as a high volume and then low variety. Pare-pareho lang naman yung face mask nilang pinuproduce, but then mataas yung kanilang production. Okay, continuous yung production. And then another example din is yung mga feed mills. Okay? So sa feed mills, kukunti lang yung variety nila and then marami silang pinuproduce na halimbawa hog grower, hog starter or so. Mas customization naman depende sa pangangailangan. Okay, depende kasi yan, 'di ba? Our goal is of course to meet customer requirements, to satisfy them. So we could offer them a mass customization, low cost yung production natin, and then yun nga, more flexible. Okay. So sa ngayon po, ayan, ito kasi kalimitan sa mga sasakyan is ano what are this? A repetitive production or they are making use of assembly line. Vehicle types, ganun din for bike. Ayan. Then sa mass customization, yun nga, example sa kanya is Dell with high volume, high variety. There are several components and then there are several output din. Okay? So, ayan, mass customization. So, ito yung ilan sa mga differences nung apat. Process focus, again, low volume, high variety, modular or standardized or assembly line po ang repetitive focus. Product focus ay mataas yung volume pero mababa yung variety niya. And then mass customization, mataas yung volume, mataas ang variety. Okay? Or ito yung mga custom-made parts. So, ayan. Pag process focus, ito nga, small quantity, large variety. Small quantity, low volume, high variety. Repetitive, matagalan yung production or batch yung production natin. Maramihan kaagad. And then ito rin, product focus, mataas yung quantity. Dito naman, equipment na ginagamit. Hold on po. Oops. Ano pa bang kakaiba dito? Yun nga, assembly line naman sa repetitive. Ito, kaya nyo na itong basahin. Ayun, mahalaga to. With regards sa training na ibibigay sa mga operators or sa mga skills required sa mga operators natin, For those manufacturing na ang strategy nila ay process focused, kailangan po dito ang mga operators ay broadly skilled. Kasi pwede kasing dalhin sila from one, halimbawa, ito po yung kanilang mga process, mga machines na gagamitin. So yung operator na to, again, mababa lang kasi yung volume pero mataas yung variety. Ibig sabihin, maraming klase ng products yung kanilang ino-offer pero sa mababang volume, konti lang. Ibig sabihin po, itong tao na to, kaya niyang gawin or kaya niyang mag-operate ng kahit na anong process. Okay po, alam niya halos lahat ng process. Okay po, dito naman po sa repetitive or modular production, hindi necessary na kagaya nitong process focus. Halimbawa, may ganito ka lang na process. So, may taong in charge na dito na yun lang yung kanyang specialty. Okay, ito lang yung assignment niya. Besides, pag nasa production ka, hindi pwede yung tao ay hihiramin ng isang department dadalhin sa kabilang department. Hindi pwede yung ganun. May mga approvals yung kailangan and then, kumbaga, para siyang yung lisensya. Licensed ka lang na mag-operate ng machine na to hanggang dito lang. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-operate ng other machines. So, ganun po yung concept ng repetitive or modular production or assembly line production. Okay? Then, dito naman po, less broadly skilled kasi nga po, yun nga, mataas naman yung volume natin. So, ilan yung machines na kailangan. Okay, then dito, flexible yung operators. Almost the same po ng process focus. Okay, ano pa ba? Okay, dito sa process focus, raw materials are relatively high. Bakit po? Bakit kaya po ang raw materials dito ay relatively high? Kasi po guys, madami tayong variety. Diba? Eh yung ating raw materials naman, halimbawa, yan yung ating varieties. Bawat variety natin, bawat klase ng item nangangailangan ng specific raw materials. So ibig sabihin po, kung mataas yung variety natin at nangangailangan siya ng unique na materials, and then para mag-continuous yung ating production, hindi dapat nauubusan ng raw materials. Therefore, kailangan mataas yung ating raw material inventory. Okay? Dito naman po sa repetitive yung production natin or assembly line. So JIT procurement techniques are commonly used. Hindi naman siya parate, kasi of course laging naman may issues. Pero pwede po natin na i-ask sa mga suppliers natin, di ba ito yung raw materials? So ito yung ating production. So siguro ilang raw materials lang yung kailangan kasi nga you can provide different varieties dito despite having kokonting raw materials na kailangan. Okay? Iba't ibang klaseng items. So, pwede tayong mag-communicate with our supplier na pagkailangan lang natin ng supply nito or nagkaroon lang tayo ng konting erratic demand na requiring mas mataas na production. So, saka lang tayo magre-request ng additional quantity. But normally po, yung flow dito ng raw materials ay sabihin natin similar, monthly, weekly, or quarterly, kung kailan man yung frequency ng delivery ng suppliers natin. Okay, halos pare-pareho po yung consumption rate ng raw materials and therefore, alam na ng suppliers kung ano ang kailangan natin. Okay? So unless otherwise, yun nga, may konting fluctuations. Dito naman po sa product focus, bakit mababa yung ating raw materials inventory? Kasi po, mataas nga yung ating volume. So magagamit siya. And then, kagaya halos nitong repetitive production, excuse me, ayan, tuloy-tuloy din yung ating production, tuloy-tuloy yung ating replenishment ng mga raw materials. So familiar na sina supplier sa kung kailan mo kailangan, kung gaano kadami yung kailangan mo. Okay po. And then mass customization, yun nga, customized part. So kung kailan lang kailangan, saka ka lang dapat magkaroon ng stocks ng inventory or mababa dapat yung inventory mo. Okay. Ano pa bang kailangan natin? With regards sa finished goods, ayan, ito, maganda to. Sa finished goods. Sa process focus natin, finished goods are usually made to order and not stored. So once again, kokonti lang yung inventory mo. Marami kang inventory dapat ng raw materials, pero yung finished goods mo ay dapat kokonti lang. Okay? Ayan o, made to order yung concept. Ibig sabihin, saka mo lang siya ima-manufacture kung kailan makaka-receive ka ng order. Okay? Parang ito ang concept, order muna before produced. Before ka magkaroon ng production. Okay? Then dito naman po sa repetitive yung ating focus or repetitive strategy. Since alam na nga po natin or consistent yung ating demand sa unit na to, ayan, so it can easily be forecasted. We can use several forecasting techniques dito. Okay, and then dito naman po sa product focus, high volume. So, yeah, pwede tayo mag-produce according sa forecast and later on, i-store natin. I-store natin kasi nga high volume yung atin. And then kung konti yung variety, ibig sabihin, less yung risk na hindi siya mau-consume. Okay? And then ito naman, build to order. So almost similar concept po ng process focus. Ayan, ano pa ba dito? So ayan, mababasa nyo naman to, yung comparison ng bawat isa. Pag naman nasa industry ka na, kalimitan kasi repetitive yung production dun eh. Pero again, depende nga. Ito, 4 lang naman yung choices mo. And then hindi naman ipapadefine sa'yo what is meant by process focus, ganyan. Okay, but again, it's handy kung alam nyo na yung definition or kahit ito lang, yung konsepto na yan, nung 4. Okay? Crossover chart. Skip na natin to. Okay. So, syempre, in relation din dun sa continuous improvement activities na ginagawa sa industry, ayan, nagkakaroon din tayo ng process analysis and design. Whereas we're looking on how to design our process in such a way na ma-receive natin or magigain tayo ng competitive advantage. Identifying ano yung mga steps na hindi nagbibigay ng value. Okay, and how could we eliminate them? And how can we maximize customer value and how can we ensure that we're supporting customer orders? Okay? So, syempre, to know all of those, may mga tools tayong ginagamit. Like yung mga flowcharts, whereas nandun yung mga movement of materials, and then time function mapping, which includes the flow of materials and how, or yung duration ng activity na yun. Okay. Let's say, for example, ayan, you're trying to map a particular process, whereas ito po yung ating tinatawag na baseline or yung current process. This is a time function map or sa industry, tinatawag din siyang swim lane diagram. Okay. So, may na-receive tayong order. So, ito po yung order niya. Na-receive siya. Ayan. And then, yung ating sales will or customer service will process those orders and put those orders to our system. Once nakita na ni planning sa system natin yung mga orders ni customer, ayan, mag-o-order na po siya or magse-set na siya ng production plan. Okay, and then, yung total process na yun, let's say 12 days, itong process na to. Okay, kasi ito naman magkakasunod na yan. After nun, ayan nga, wait, ibig sabihin, pinuproduce na nila yung parts and then, itatransfer na sa, let's say, one plant. Ayan, ipiprint na yung mga documents needed and then, ito po. Okay? And then, yun, may mga transfers nang nangyari. Okay, halimbawa, ito yung may mga movement from plant A to plant B kasi hindi capable si plant A to process a particular activity. Like for example, yung printing, ito, plant B, capable lang siya for extruding. So nagkakaroon dyan ng mga movement ng materials. Okay, so ito po, okay guys, ang responsibilities nakalagay po sa kaliwa. So plant A siya yung magpiprint. Si warehouse, ayan, syempre warehouse. So andun lang yung stocks or mga work in process natin or semi-finished items or mga hindi pa kumpletong item. Ayan, mga ongoing process or ongoing inventory pa lang natin. So ayan, nagkakaroon ng movement. So transportation and then wait, ayan, may finished goods na tayo. And then i-move uli and then hanggang sa ma-receive siya ni customers. So total time from order to the receipt of their product ay 52 days. So ito po yung ibig sabihin and ganito po yung interpretation ng time function mapping or swim lane diagram. Sino yung gagawa ng activity na to? Okay, and then ito po yung duration niya. Question? So this is a baseline. Ibig sabihin, this is the current process or current map. Ngayon, syempre, bago tayo magkaroon ng improvement initiatives, bago natin mailagay or ma-measure kung nag-improve ba talaga, kailangan magset tayo ng current layout, current map. And then, once na nagkaroon na kayo ng communication with your team, na-identify na paano natin may improve itong current process na to, which takes 52 days bago ma-receive ni customer yung kanyang order. Okay, ngayon, magkakaroon na tayo ng future map or ito yung target map nyo. Whereas dito po, parang, okay, from 52 days, ikakat natin siya into 6 days. Ang order processing will only take 1 day. Production will only take 2, 1, let's say 4 days. Or let's say 3 days. Ayan, 3 days. 2 and 1. So 3 days lang. And then kung mapapansin nyo, wala ng plant A, wala ng plant B. Ibig sabihin, posible, inilagay natin yung extrusion machine sa plant 1, plant A. At the same time, nandun din yung printing. So less yung movement. Di ba? The more transportation, the more motion, the more possibility na ma-damage yung product or magkaroon ng quality issues. And besides, yun nga, transportation and motion are kinds of waste. Okay? So, na-eliminate natin yung mga ganong klaseng problema. And then, na-address natin to, waiting time is 1 day, and then transportation from your company to the customer will only take a day. Then, kung babalikan natin yung kanina, yeah, of course, same naman to kasi nga, ayun, andun lang din naman. Wala naman pwedeng mabago dito unless may kontrata tayong mabago on how to reduce yung ating transport time mula sa plant natin to our customer. So again, that's a different thing. Sa logistics na usapan na yun. But then, kung napapansin nyo dito, yung mga movement na to, mga 4 days, mga 10 days na yan, and then ito, yung waiting of your orders na 13 days, na-address yan. Okay? Kumbaga, may story behind po bago tayo mag-come up sa target na ito. But then, what I'm after here is this target map or this future map, future or let's say target or proposed map. So, na-address natin yung tagal ng customer waiting or customer lead time na 52 days down to 6 days. Okay po? So ito, hindi naman to instant na mula baseline, magiging kaagad, mula 52 days, magiging kaagad siyang 6 days. Ito, mahaba-habang usapan. Paano natin mamove yung mga machines natin, paano natin masisimplify yung production natin, paano natin masisimplify itong order processing. Okay, may mga hidden activities dito. Kumbaga, bird's eye view lang itong pinapakita ng future time function mapping. Okay po? Gagawin niyo to ha. Yes. Okay. Then yun nga, process analysis and design, we can make use of flowchart kagaya nito. Yung ito, time function mapping. Ayan, showing the flow or yung process and then yung time frame or yung duration niya. Value stream mapping or tinatawag din nating VSM, it shows yung flow and time and value added beyond the immediate organization. Okay, meaning hindi lang internally, kundi pwede nating ma-assess din. Yung halimbawa, for the delivery time, and other kinds of outside factors, external factors. And then process chart, ito, very familiar na kayo dito. Okay, yung mga halimbawa ay, ayan, yung may mga makikita kayong ganyan, yung may arrow, delay, ayan, storage, inspection, and so on. And then web service blueprinting focuses on customer-provided interaction. So what you guys will be doing ay more of itong apat na to. Okay? So value stream mapping. So ayan, sabi nga daw, it includes the flow. Ayan, nandyan yung flow from your supplier. Dadating yung parts, delivery ay weekly, and then yung raw materials na yun ipaprocess sa machine 1 with one operator, and you have an inventory of 2,500, and then imumove siya sa next process natin, and then next process, and then itetest natin, and then ipapackage natin, i-ship natin sa customer. Okay. Ngayon, syempre, andun in charge yung daily communication with the production supervisor. So, si production supervisor magdidictate, okay, gaano karami yung irara natin sa machine na to? Ano yung, gaano karami yung kailangan sa component mounting, sa assembly, sa testing? So, ayan, may daily communication. And then, si supervisor, i-update niya rin si managers natin, maybe plant manager, operations manager, regarding the status of the customer orders. If we're on time ba tayo, on track ba tayo dito sa pag-operate sa process 1, sa process 2, ano yung status ng ating testing or ating inspection sa packaging or so. Okay? And then, andyan nga yung ating mga duration or frequencies, and then gaano karaming orders. So, let's say from manager, order tayo ng 2,500 kay supplier. Magre-receive tayo ng 2,500. Then, i-operate natin. Ayan, may mga work in process inventory tayo dito. And then, i-ship natin 500 daily papunta kay customer. So, if that is a daily shipment, so that's about 2,500 yung weekly order ng customers. Okay, pwede rin pong i-review natin yung monthly forecast if that's given. So the arrow here, kung mapapansin nyo parang kidlat, it means electronic shipment. Electronic yung kanilang naging communication. Okay? And then ito naman po, physical yung kanilang communication. Meaning, si production supervisor directly goes to the operating or to the operator or sa in charge dito sa process na to, sa process na to, sa process na to. So, okay? Ngayon, aside from the flow and external, let's say, components ng ating proseso, included din dito yung duration. Let's say ito, 5 days yung delivery. Ayan, mula supplier natin hanggang company natin, it takes 5 days. I-operate sa machine na to, that's 45 seconds. And then 3 days yung movement from our machine to our component mounting, and then 40 seconds you operate, and then 6 seconds, 4 seconds, ang move 4 days a movement ng from assembly to testing. So kung mapapansin nyo masyadong mataas, bakit po? Kasi syempre kung tuloy-tuloy yung production, meron pa tong ginagawa. So hindi naman pwedeng i-pull in yung request or yung output kaagad nito. Kaya meron tayong mga 3 days, 6 days bago ma-process yung order na yun ni customer. Okay? And then you may identify here what are the value-added activities of course, may analysis diyang kailangan. Ano ba yung mga value-adding activities and non-value adding activities? Ano itong mga non-value adding activities? Probably ito yung mga waiting times. Di ba? Waiting time is a waste. One of the kinds ng waste natin, yung waiting. Tama? Kasi nga, na-idle yung ating operations. So, non-value adding. So, kung ito, parang kung tama ako ng tansya, so we have 10, we have 18, and then 26. So 26 days yung ating waiting time. So normally, kung hindi man lang siya waiting, ay posible kasama na rin yung ating transpo time. Okay, which are all non-value adding. And then you have here yung operations na ginagawa mismo nila, syempre value adding na yun. Or possibly, pwede pa natin itong ma-reduce. Kasi kung gusto nating mapabilis, di ba? Probably adding additional operator and the likes. Okay? So ito po, value stream mapping, mas kakabisaduhin niyo po ito sa lean manufacturing. Okay, kasi in that subject, talagang focus kayo sa continuous improvement sa mga activities. But to give you just a sample of BSM, kami regularly, sana regular, we're doing several kinds of projects, and then those projects involve using VSM. Sana may, ayun, halimbawa ito, magnanakaw lang ako ng data. And then, kuha pa tayo ng isa, future state map. Ayan, so tingnan lang natin. So kami sa planning, kanya-kanya kasi yun eh. Maybe our department only or the planning department may want to improve their processes. So kumbaga dun sa scoping, hanggang planning lang tayo. Okay, so let's see kung ano-ano kung ano bang itsura ng VSM sa industry. And then ilalagay ko siya sa drive. Drive natin. Ito, ilalagay ko siya sa drive. Just for you guys to have a copy. But again, these are all confidential po, but okay lang. Hindi naman amin. Okay. Sige. Okay. Antayin na natin mag-open. Ayan. So ganito yung itsura ng VSM. Pag kami may mga projects, yan no. Ayan. Ganyan yung itsura ng VSM. Di ba? Sobrang... Okay. Saglit lang. At hindi kinakaya ng Excel. And then, of course, meron pa tayo dito ilang samples for VSM. Siyempre, itong VSM, kailangan ikaw ay sabihin nating experts na dun sa, or directly involved dun sa operation. Oops, bakit? Ayaw niya. OneDrive. Wala eh. Ayan. Ayan yung itsura ng VSM namin. And then, nakalagay po dito, okay, mag-move ka. So, syempre, current state muna ang gagawin. Okay? Kailangan mo munang imapa yung current na process. Saglit lang po. Medyo mabagal. Ayun. And then later on, magkakaroon ka ng future state map. Okay? Again, just to briefly cover itong VSM. Ayan. So, nakalagay po dito. Ayan. Dito tayo sa taas. So this one is for our for their fill rate process. So ito yung mga activities na gagawa, first step, second step, third step, fourth step, so on and so forth. And then, ayan, nandito yung duration ng activities, processing time, and then lead time, which includes yung ating kinds of waiting time. Okay? And then, ayan, yung mga processes. And then, kung mapapansin nyo dito, may mga ganitong note, ibig sabihin, these are continuous improvement opportunities. These are what they call as Kaizen Blitz. Kaizen Blitz. Yung parang sa sasakyan, Blitz. Ayan, Blitz. Kaizen Blitz. Okay, hindi na kayanin eh. Okay. So, ayan. So, initially, so ayan, weekly yung kanilang frequency. And then, electronics, yung kanilang, and then, ito po yung kanilang mga, ayan, processing time and then lead time. Sorry, ito, processing time, lead time. That's the overall process. And then, pwede rin po, may mga flow charts kayong ganito. Okay, when they're doing some kinds of activities para lang maimapa natin. Kasi itong VSM, it's kind of too high detail and too masyadong kasing parang illustrated eh. Okay? So may mga hidden notes dyan na hindi natin pwedeng basta nila ilagay as a comment or so. So pwede natin ilagay siya as a comment na ganito. Okay? And then, syempre may mga improvement opportunities sila dito. So ayan, ilan sa mga guidelines nila. And then later on, may improve na nila yung process. So ito na yung improve process. So in terms of seconds, they can complete that particular activity in just, let's say, in less than an hour. From, ano ba yung original? Ayan, from 2 hours of activity na para matapos itong kanilang, let's say, kanilang report na ito, from 2 hours, ginawa nila in just less than an hour. So malaking improvement yun. Di ba? Nakukuha po. And then, ayan, syempre, kailangan siyang i-detail na kagaya ng ganito. Ito, gagawin nyo naman to. Ayan, parang 80. Ayan. Ito, nakalagay po yung mga current problem. Okay, and then, ang goal nila, nakalagay dito. And then, to support yung mga time dito na nakasummarize, ayun nga, meron na silang create na mga VSM na ganyan. Okay? And then, kalokohan to eh. Okay, ayan, mineasure nila. Ito, nagkaroon sila ng time study through this one. And, sorry, ayaw niyang. Okay, so ayan, mga time study nila na ginawa. Okay, so ayan. Ayan, so ganyan sa industry. Okay? Pag may mga project improvement opportunities ka, or mga process improvement opportunities, then ganito kalimitan yung format. So, nilalagay ng mga Kaizen Blitz na yan, nagdo-drawing ng current state map para alam natin yung mismong proseso. Kasi guys, ang goal nyo naman dito, hindi lang para sa inyo, kundi para ma-share din itong project na to with other teams. And other teams may not know your process na ito. Diba? So, ano makuha ng other teams na yun? Kung paano nyo ginawa to. Okay? So, ayan. Okay? So, that is an example of a VSM. Hindi ko siya ma-open. I think meron pa ako dito ang iba pang example. VSM. I think this one. Let's see. So, close ko na to. Hindi ito. So, ayan na. Ganyan na itsura ng VSM. Okay, tingnan pa natin to. VSM. Walang VSM dito. Ayan, hindi rin to VSM eh. Hindi ko kasi ito ma-open eh. Ayaw, error talaga. Okay. Okay, kung ayaw niya. Ayan. So, yan. Ganyan yung itsura ng VSM. Okay? So, ito, gagawin lang natin yung simple na process. VSM. Okay, and then for the process chart, you're very familiar with this. Napakaraming format nito ng mga process chart natin or process flow chart. Service blueprinting, so it focuses on customer and provider interaction. So ang itsura naman niya is ganito. Parang flow chart lang din. Okay? Okay, so ilan lang yan sa mga tools na pwede nating magamit on presenting your process or current process. And later on, map kung paano natin i-formulate or paano natin mas papapilisin, mas i-improve yung ating process. Okay? Okay po. Ngayon, ilan sa mga technologies na ginagamit natin sa industry ito? Siyempre, kalimitan dito nakikita is a vision system, process control system, robot, ito, CIM, of course, AGVs, Automated Guided Vehicles. Ito yung sa Amazon. Ayan. Okay, so tingnan natin isa-isa. So for machine technology, okay, wala masyadong detail doon. Ayan. For the AISS or Automatic Identification System, ayan, may nakikita naman kayong ganito. Di ba? For examples are barcodes and RFID. So it improves the process. It speeds up the process. Okay? And yun nga, better data management. Okay, rather than mano-mano, so automated na lamang through RFIDs. Then process control. Ayan, may mga makikita kayong ganito, real-time monitoring and control of the process. Yung maraming TV, hindi po to sa CCTV, pero ayan, nakikita dito kung ano yung ginagawa, kung nag-ooperate pa ba yung machine na yun ng maayos, gaano karami yung kanilang output or so. Okay? Malinaw po. Next, vision system. Ito, halimbawa, ayan, vision system for inspection purposes. Di ba? Remember last time, yung previous discussion natin, some customers are requiring 200% inspection rather than just acceptance sampling. Di ba? Rather than doing the inspection for just 10 pieces out of 1 million pieces, ayan, inspectionin natin yung 1 million pieces na yun. So that can be done through a vision system. So it assists us para malaman yung mga defects. Kasi para lang siyang camera na dadaan lang dun yung mga products natin. And then ma-identify na if meron siyang problema or wala. Okay? So ito nga lang, syempre, ayan, kailangan talaga malinaw ang mata dito. Kasi hindi naman kasi siya parang naka-x-ray ka agad. Siya kumbaga yung anong itsura lang nito. And then mazo-zoom kung may defect ba or wala. Okay. And then robots, ayan, malaking tulong sa industry yung robot. Actually, yan yung project namin ngayon ngayon sa Mexico to automate all of our production. So, rather than doing manual or kailangan ng tao to manually operate yung process na yun, ipapa-automate na lang namin by installing robots. So, mahal siya initially. Gawa na nga ng investment siya. But, syempre, wini-weigh in yan ng management. If it is worth it ba na gumamit ng robot, considering yung mga maintenance yan, installations, pagsaset up sa kanila, versus sa tao, na tao yung gagawa. Okay? So, actually, dito sa Pilipinas, ito yung malaking problema. Once na nag-install tayo ng maraming robot, it indicates na less manpower ang needed. Diba? Especially sa production natin na talagang labor intensive. Halimbawa, yung isang process requires 50 operators, 50 per shift. And then pag in-automate siya, posible 10, 20 na lamang yung kailangan. Okay? So, ganun po yung impact ng robot. But definitely, it also opens up a lot of other jobs naman. Okay? Ngayon, advantage ng pag-install ng robot, yun nga, generally, consistent yung output niya and mas accurate kaysa sa ginagawa ng tao. Kasi depende rin yun sa setup ng ating robot eh. Okay, and then automated storage and retrieval system, ito naman po yung, kung familiar po kayo dun sa Amazon na video, wala halos silang, parang, hold on po ha, may nag-ano lang. Ayan, yung para bang may, yung mga robot nila, sila yung nagpipick nung mga goods sa mga boxes and then dadalhin sa conveyor. And at the same time, mula conveyor, dadalhin sa kung saan mga location. So yun po yung automated storage and retrieval system. Okay? So rather than yung tao yung gagawa nun, so robot na lamang din or yung mga mini robots natin. Yan, automated guided vehicle din po, electronically guided and controlled carts. Yan, FMSs. Again, these are just concepts. Kaya nyo naman basahin. And then CIM po, gumagamit ng CAD system for change sa engineering or so. Okay, yan po yung ilan sa mga systems natin. Okay? Yan, ito yung yung automated storage and retrieval system and automated guided vehicles. Ayan. Okay, so hindi kailangan ng forklift para mag-pick up or mag-store ng mga parts na nandun sa mataas na location ng ating racks. Okay, and then we have the robots. Okay po. Yan. So ilan lang to sa technologies na ginagamit sa system. Debit cards, online. Ayan. Okay. So question about it. These are all conceptual. But if you have questions before we proceed dun sa second topic natin. Any questions po? Any questions, guys?
Wala naman po, sir.
Okay, wala naman po. Okay, so second topic tayo, which is with consideration sa capacity planning. Okay, but before that, I'll start with a sample sa capacity planning. Napakahalaga po nitong capacity planning. Okay, kasi dapat alam mo kung hanggang saan lang yung kakayahan ng production. So if you are a planner, so hindi ka dapat maglagay ng plano exceeding sa kakayahan nila. Okay? Even if mataas yung demand, kailangan mo lang magplano ng naaayon sa kung ano ba yung kakayahan ng production natin. Else, magbibigay ka ng maling commitment sa mga customer, which is malaking kasalanan. Okay po. So, kami sa industry, we're just using Excel when we are reviewing our capacities. It's like, alam namin ang capacity per week ay, let's say, for a particular line, 21 million pieces. And then if we have like customer requirements na 37 million pieces per week on average, so malaking challenge talaga. So that's why may mga kailangang reviewin dito. Hanapin, halimbawa, asan yung bottleneck. Pag sinabing bottleneck, di ba, parang bote. Di ba? Bote ng Coke. Di ba? So, again, without consideration sa pressure or so, ayan. Halimbawa, ito yung bote ng Coke. Ayan, yung Coke natin. Okay. Yan yung Coke natin. Di ba ito yung bottleneck? Okay? Malinaw? Dito, mataas yung volume. Mataas yung kakayahan natin dito. Tama? But then, dito, kukunti na lamang yung nagfo-flow. Di ba? Mas kukunti, nalilimit. So, that bottleneck, that is the concept of bottleneck. Siya yung naglilimit sa kakayahan natin, sa ating capacity. Okay po. Malinaw po ah. So that's a bottleneck. Kami sa industry, yun nga, aside from visualizing it through charts, ang example din is just a bar chart or a column chart. Ganito yung ginagawa namin klaseng assessment. And ayan, for example, ito, we have a product line that has to undergo assembly, has to undergo molding and plating. Ano napansin nyo dito? So, we can run for a particular line, ATO. We have a capacity sa assembly na 15 million pieces per week. Molding namin, molding for ATO is 14.6 million per week. Ang plating natin, kayang mag-run, dalawang klase yung ipe-plate, either tin-plated or silver-plated. So that's 15 million. So ano ang naging bottleneck dito? Na siya yung magiging capacity natin. This 14.6 million, which is a molding. Malinaw po. Malinaw to. So this, pero syempre, yung molding naman na to, you have to consider as well, di ba, molding siya. So, yung total capacity, it shouldn't be just per line, but in general, yung kabuuan ng molding natin. Okay? But again, just to make things simple na lang muna para sa inyo. So, ayan po. Nakita natin dito, molding is 14.6. So that would be the maximum capacity for this line. For mini, ganun din po, issue natin is nasa molding. And then for micro 2, anong issue na nakikita natin for this line? It's more on the plating process. That's the restriction. A line can only produce 11.62. Ayan. And then so on and so forth. Okay? In here, in this analysis, we can also project, ayan, given the demand that we have, we can take action and project ano ba yung kailangan natin. Okay? So for example, ito yung mga actions natin for mag-add daw tayo ng 4 shift. Okay? Sa assembly. And then bumili daw tayo ng bagong mold tool. Ayusin daw po natin or mag-refurbish tayo ng machine, ng old machines natin. Bumili tayo ng 2 mold tool ulit. And then many others. Okay? So, ayan, ganyan lang yung ginagawa namin sa industry to make some sorts of capacity planning. Okay? Kasi guys, yung mga bagong bibiling machines, nangangailangan yung ng tinatawag na RFQ. Request for quotation. Kumbaga, syempre, evaluate namin yung gastos. And then yung aming review na yun na i-document namin na okay, ito yung ating request for quotation. It cost us like 20 million pesos to buy these new mold tools, to buy these new machines. And syempre, maraming approvals yun na pagdadaanan. Yung mga ilang levels yun. Depende sa kung anong itsura ng inyong organization. Pwede kasing pag flat yung organization mo, posible ilang level lang ang organization. But pagkagaya ng mga Japanese firms, na masyadong matangkad yung kanilang organization or tall yung kanilang organization, maraming levels, di ba? Yan, ganyan yung tall, yung klase ng tall organization. Marami kang kailangan hinga ng approval. Hihinga ng approval to, hihinga ng approval yon, hihinga ng approval, hihinga ng approval. Pag flat yung ating organization, posible, ayan, ilang level lang. Ayan, maraming tao dito. And then yan, ilang level lang yung ating hihinga ng approval. Okay, so again, request for quotation, siya yung nagbibigay ng idea sa management na okay, kailangan nating bumili ng ganitong machines, okay, to support these orders. And then marami pang analysis na kasama itong request for quotation. Kasi yun yung mga questions na i-ask ng ating mga signatories ng mga tao na to. Okay, dun sa request for quotation mo. So again, napakahirap po nitong capacity planning in terms of solving yung mga bottlenecks. Kasi posible na hindi nagagana yung mga elimination of waste natin ng mga konsepto na ganyan, yung mga lean manufacturing na ganyan, yung concepts nun, posible hindi na gumana. Kasi nga po, na-achieve na natin yung optimum. Once na na-achieve na natin yung optimum, okay, wala na talaga. So kahit na anong elimination of waste na gawin mo dyan, still, ang problem ay magra-rise pa din or magkakaroon pa rin tayo ng, or mauulit pa rin yung ating problema. Okay? So again, that could be solved by a request for quotation, adding new machines or so. So ganyan, yung aming capacity planning pag nasa industry. Okay? Another example. From Blanca. Ayan. So ito po, sa industry may tinatawag kaming maximum capacity and demonstrated capacity. Magkaiba po yun. Pag sinabi naming maximum capacity, okay, this is the highest that we can achieve. Okay? Given na ng ganitong condition, this is the highest that we can achieve. Pag sinabi, so yan po yung installed capacity. Highest that the line can achieve based on some kinds of analysis, based on what production can be, based on some restrictions or so, bottlenecks considerations. But then, magkaiba po yun dito sa tinatawag nating demonstrated capacity. Pag sinabing demonstrated capacity, ito lang yung kakayahan natin. Let's say, for example, ito. For this line, let's say ito, although may demand tayo ng 37 million pieces, and our maximum capacity is at 26 million pieces. So, malayo na agad yung agwat sa 37. Pero kung mapapansin nyo to, ito yung weekly capacity na nakalagay. Mas mababa siya dun sa 26 million. Bakit? Kasi hindi pa po naiiran ni production yung hindi pa nakapag-achieve ng 26 million. Hanggang 25 million pa lamang yung kanila na-achieve. Besides, may tinatawag tayong concept of overall equipment efficiency. Okay? OEE. Overall, hindi ko sure kung tama ako dito. Overall equipment efficiency. Okay? And normally, sineset siya, let's say, 85% or 90% of the maximum capacity. Okay, mahalaga itong OEE kasi nga po, ayaw naman nating mag-commit sa bagay na hindi natin kaya. Di ba? So, kaya meron tayong OEE. Hanggang saan lang ba yung kaya natin? Hanggang saan lang ba yung na-demonstrate natin? Although, of course, we're looking to achieving this high, yung ma-reach natin yung maximum. Pero, magiging consistent ba tayo on running that maximum? Those are the questions na kailangan nating may review before really stating that this 26 million is our demonstrated capacity. Malinaw po. Okay, magkakaiba po ang tawag sa capacity pag nasa linya. May maximum capacity, effective capacity, demonstrated capacity, staffed capacity, utilization or so. Ayan. Okay, so yan, ganyan kami. Ayan. So kung magpaplano ka sa linya and you're running at 25 million, Ayan, let's say, pakita ko lang sa inyo paano magplano. Sana, ayun, may total number dito. So, dapat itong mga total na to, guys, ay 25 million. Nakikita? And these are the part numbers na ipoproduce nila. These are the weeks kung pang ilang week na tayo. So, weekly, ano nakalagay dito? Sa capacity natin, we can run 23 million at maximum this April. Okay, but then, kung nakikita nyo dito, anong ginagawa ni Planner? 24 million. Or sorry, this is May na. 25 million. Ayun, no, may mga 25, more than 27 million, which is, I think, impossible. Ginagawa lang yan ni Planner, itong mataas na production na to prepare the raw materials. Ayan, kung mapapansin nyo, ayan, 27, 25 million or so. Okay, so ganyan magplano. And then there are several part numbers dito na kailangan niyang planuhin. Okay? Question? Okay po, nakita yung impact ng capacity sa planning. Okay, I'm hoping na nakuha natin. So punta tayo dito sa mismong material. Oops, sorry, hindi to. Close ko na to. Save. Then punta tayo sa capacity. Oh, ito nga. Okay. So, ayan. In here, we'll talk about bottleneck analysis, design, what's the difference between design and effective capacity. So again, ang kukunin ko lang dito guys ay kung ano lang kailangan natin. Okay? The rest kasi very simple na. Capacity. Tinatawag din siyang throughput. Kakayahan natin ay throughput or the number of units that the facility can hold, can receive, or can produce at a time. Ayan. For example, weekly capacity, yung pinakita ko nga sa inyo. And then, ayan, capacity horizon, okay na to. Short range, ito kalimitan, short range planning, scheduling of, yun nga, weekly schedules. Then intermediate range planning is, halimbawa, adding additional shift or adding new equipment, doing some sorts of subcontracting. And then long range planning, it requires yun nga, for long lead time equipment, pag yung mga machines mo ay talagang matagal yung lead time or yung waiting time mo, and then yung adding new facilities. Okay? So, difference lang ng dalawa, ito magagamit ito sa CIE, design capacity versus effective capacity. Design capacity is the maximum theoretical output of a system. Theoretical. Ibig sabihin, based on the feedback mula sa production, based on the feedback mula sa process engineering team, ito yung kakayahan natin. Okay? Theoretical. Okay, again, theory. And yun nga, rate po siya. And well, effective capacity, this is what I call as demonstrated capacity or staff capacity. Hanggang ano lang yung kaya natin based on the current operating constraints. Okay? Halimbawa, may COVID, di ba? So, kung may COVID ngayon, may pandemic tayo, so meaning may nangangailangan ng social distancing din sa planta natin. Di ba? So, given that current constraints, makakapag-set tayo, ano yung kakayahan natin? Ano yung effective capacity natin? Okay? And normally, that effective capacity natin is lower than design capacity. So once again, design capacity, that's the maximum capacity. Okay. Now, just to give a computation dito. Sa industry kasi po, posible nag-time study or nasa system na mismo or base sa kakayahan. Pero dito po guys, medyo iba yung definition. Utilization is the percentage of design capacity achieved. So actual utilization is a measure between actual output divided by the design capacity. Again, how utilized ba yung ating maximum capacity based dun sa ating output na na-produce. Okay? Well, efficiency is how effective yung ating the percentage of effective capacity. Efficiency is the actual output divided by the effective capacity. Nakuha po yung dalawang formula na to? So once again, design capacity, this can be reviewed by the engineering team. They could be, they are the ones who can provide this. An effective capacity based on feedback mula sa production, what they can regularly run. Example, sa bakery, they have this actual production from last week of 148,000 rolls. Okay, or kung ano man yan na tinapay. And then they said that they can bake 175,000. Although they know based on the design that based on their time study that they can produce 1,200 rolls per hour and they can operate 7 days a week, 3 8-hour shifts. Okay? So first, calculate natin yung design capacity. So design capacity, titingnan natin to 1,200 rolls per hour. Kaso dito, naka-weekly yung ating output. Okay? So gagawin natin siyang per week. So saan siya galing? 7 days per week multiply by 3. Tatlong 8-hour shift po ang ibig sabihin nito. 3 times 8-hour shift. Itong 8-hour shift could be Asia shift, Europe shift, and North America shift. Or pwede itong 8 to 5, 5 to ganyan, and then, ayan. Let's say 5 to 9, or sorry, 5 to 12, and then 12 to 7. So, ayan. Yun po yung ibig sabihin ng 8-hour shifts na yun. So, nagawa na natin siya per week. Multiply by 1,200 rolls per hour. So, ito yung design capacity, which aligns na ang effective capacity ay mas mababa kaysa sa maximum capacity. Nakuha? Now, in here, we can calculate now the utilization and efficiency. Okay. Ayaw niyang magsulat. Pen. Hold on. Ay, enable ko lang. Okay, ayaw pa rin niya magsulat. Okay, so ayan. 148,000, which is your actual output over design capacity. Sa CIE, napakaraming questions sa ganito. Mga 5 na related sa capacity. Dati. Okay? So that results sa 73.4% utilized mo yung maximum capacity. And efficiency is equal to the output divided by the effective capacity, which is 85%. Okay? So para itong overall equipment efficiency, yun po yung concept nito. Okay? Now, ito po. Let's say daw po na ayan, na ang ating bagong efficiency ng linya ay 75%. Okay? What is then the expected output? If you go back dun sa measure of ayan. Diba effective or efficiency is equal to output or actual output divided by your effective capacity. Ngayon, nag-increase daw po yung ating efficiency, naging siyang 75%. Ang ano ang output? Ano ang magiging actual output natin pag nag-increase na siya ng 75%, given na yung effective capacity natin ay 175K per week. Okay? So, again, ito naman po ay cross-multiply lang. So, actual output is equal to effective capacity, 175 multiplied by the 75%. So, ito na yung magiging actual output mo pag nag-increase ka ng ganyan, ng 75% from an early number of 73.4. Questions? Madali lang naman to, ano? Okay, ngayon, usapang demand tayo. May mga cases, of course, na yung demand natin mas mataas kaysa sa capacity. Or may mga cases din naman na ang capacity natin ay sobrang laki as compared sa demand. Okay? Nangyayari yun. Unahin natin tong demand exceeds capacity. Mas mataas yung ating actual demand kaysa sa capacity, which happens in our case. Ngayon, so pag ganyan yung nangyari, anong mga possible solution na gawin? Una, i-review natin yung ano ba yung kakayahan talaga natin. Ano ba yung capacity talaga? Okay? Are there any solution which can further improve our capacity? Malinaw po. Malinaw? Okay? Ngayon, ito yung strategy na ginagawa namin ngayon. Demand, mas mataas yung demand kasi sa capacity namin. Hindi namin kayang suportahan lahat ng demand na meron. We can increase our price. So anong impact pag nag-increase ka ng price? Bababa yung demand. Bababa yung future demand mo. And eventually, yung mga existing demand ngayon ay mas suportahan mo na. Kasi nga wala nang dadagdag halos or hindi ganun kalaki yung dadagdag na demand sa mga future weeks. Okay? We can curb down our price. Or we can raise our price. Okay? In order to reduce our demand. Malinaw po. Or we can also schedule longer lead time. So, patatagalin natin yung lead time. Meaning, pag pinatagal natin yung lead time na yun, so, yung customer natin, yung commitment natin sa customer ay medyo matagal pa rin. Okay? So, possible there we can, as the customer's waiting because of the lead time, pwede natin ma-address yung capacity restrictions natin or yung mga bottlenecks ay ma-review ulit. Maliwanag po to. Yung demand exceeds capacity. Then, may mga cases syempre tayo na ang capacity natin ay overwhelming as compared sa demand. Dito pumapasok yung marketing. Bakit nagkakaroon ng promo? Kasi mas mataas yung ating kakayahan kaysa sa demand na pumupunta sa atin. Okay? Then, adjusting sa seasonal demand, ito nga po. So, you have to understand yung demand patterns. Kailan ba nagkakaroon ng mas mataas na demand? So, ibig sabihin, if yung capacity natin, halimbawa, this is your capacity. This is your capacity line. Yan lang for the whole year. And then you know na nandito, you may peak dyan. Yan, may peak dyan. So, ano ang plano mo? Ito yung demand. Or ito yung forecast, sabihin natin ganyan. Anong plano mo na dito? How can we mitigate ito? Possibly, we can start building up more inventory here. Mapataas na natin yung inventory position natin dito habang mababa pa ang demand para pag tumaas na yung demand, naka-level load lang na yung ating production. Okay po. That's how the planning team adjust on the seasonality of the demand. Okay? So, yan. Dito naman po sa service sector, kaya po kung minsan may mga tinatawag tayong mga part-time kasi nga po kulang yung capacity natin. And then for pwedeng appointments, pwedeng reservation, first come first serve rule. Ayan. So those are the ways to address itong ating demand. Mas mataas yung demand. So kung mataas yung demand and then kukunti lang yung kakayahan mo, pwedeng yung reservation, appointment. Ngayon, pag mataas naman yung iyong capacity as compared sa demand, so pwede kang magkaroon ng temporary lang, hindi full-time na stuff. Okay? Break-even analysis. Okay lang ba i-pass na natin to, guys? Break-even? Na-cover nyo na ba to dati? Sa ibang subject?
Kanina lang po.
Okay, good. Skip na natin to. Ayoko na kayo lituhin eh. So yan, madali na naman. It can be presented in either in dollar form or in peso form and in unit form. Simple lang naman to. Okay, simple lang to. Break-even analysis. Kaso, syempre, meron tayong mga cases na multi-product. Nasanay siguro tayo sa break-even analysis na isang product lang yung ating pinag-uusapan. Eh di ba, halimbawa, if you have a negosyo, and that negosyo, you're offering palamig, fishball, kikiam, yan. Okay? Ngayon, paano mo malalaman kung naka-break even ka na? Yung walang tubo, walang lugi. Break even. Paano mo malalaman na break even ka na? Okay? Ilang palamig ang kailangan mo mabenta? Halimbawa, palamig na lang yung mas mabenta sa'yo. ilang kikiam yung kailangan mo mabenta and so. So we are using a multi-product case. Ito, familiar na kayo dito? Tama? Tama po? Familiar kayo? Familiar po ba? Hindi. Sa multi-product? Sige, mukhang mukhang hindi. Okay. But, meron ba ako? Sige. Puntahan muna natin yung problem na yun. Okay, where is it? Saan yung PDF? PDF. Capacity planning. Okay, so maybe we can have a sample here. Ayan. Halimbawa po, ayan, may restaurant ka. So there are more than one product and you want to know the break-even point in dollars. Nakikita yung screen ko? Okay po. And you have a fixed cost of 3,000 per month. And then you are selling this amount. And then you have an annual forecasted sales unit of this. And that sandwich can be sold at $5 per piece. And that cost you $3 to make. Okay? Similarly, itong drink and baked potato. Okay po. Ngayon, to know kung ilan po yung ating anong ating break-even point. Okay, to know that break-even point. So, pwede tayong gumawa ng ganitong klaseng table. So, you have identified the items, the annual forecast, selling price, ito rin po, the cost, okay? And then you have to divide the variable cost and then the selling price. Okay, 3 divided by 5, so on and so forth. Then that contribution is 1 less ito. Malinaw tong column 6. Madali lang to eh. Okay? Ngayon, annual forecasted volume ay ito po. For the, ayan. Paano po ito nakuha? Annual forecasted sales. So that is sales multiply by the selling price. Or forecast in units divided by the selling price. 9 times 5, 45. 9 times 1.5, 13.5. And then ito total natin siya. After nun, kukunin natin yung weight. Sales is 45 divided by 72.5. Okay? Okay po. And then, i-multiply natin itong contribution by the weight. Ayun. So, asa na yung formula natin? Ganito yung nangyari. Okay? And then, isasum natin sila. That 0.47 ay equal dito sa sum na yun. Okay. And then, for the fixed cost, ano nga yung fixed cost nating nakalagay doon? 3,000 per month. And then we're talking of annual. So 3 times 12. Ayan. So 3 times 12. Sorry, itaas ko lang ng konti. Ayan. So for the break-even point in dollar, that is equal sa 36,000 divided by the weight, the summation ng contribution multiplied by the weight. Okay? And then, ibig sabihin, in order to break even, kailangan magkaroon ka ng $76,596. Okay po. Malinaw? Malinaw po yan. Again, hindi ko na sinulat to kasi easy to follow naman to. Malinaw po yan? Okay, that is for the year. However, kung titingnan naman natin, ano yung total daily sales mo dapat to break even? So, i-divide lang natin siya sa either, depende kung ilang araw ka bang nag-work for the whole year or naka-open yung restaurant mo for the whole year para malaman mo magkano dapat yung magiging benta ko kada araw. Okay? In order for me to eventually break even. So, pag ang benta natin ay less than this, it indicates na okay, more likely palugi tayo. Okay? Malinaw po ito? Malinaw tong portion na to, guys. So ito po makikita naman dito sa capacity planning. Okay. Ngayon, ito magandang case din to. So the management of Libistro now knows that it must generate an average sales of ganyan per day. Okay, and if the sales exceed the 72,500, ayan, or sorry, 76,596, ayan, malulugi sila pag hindi umabot ng 76,596. Malinaw po. Malinaw po to? Yung ibig sabihin ng mga numbers na to sa break-even? Okay. Ngayon, syempre, kailangan nating malaman gaano karaming tinapay ang kailangan niya mabenta, gaano karaming baked potato ang kailangan niya mabenta. So, dyan po pumapasok to. Okay? So, paano daw po malalaman? At break-even, ilan daw po yung kailangang ibenta niyang sandwich kada araw, ilang kailangang ibentang yung other unit kada araw. So, balikan natin, drinks. Okay, maybe it's best to copy it. Pakita lang natin in mabilis na paraan. Okay, so again, ito yung mga items nila. Sandwich. Okay, 9,000, 9,000, 7,000. And then 5, 1.5. And then 2, 3, 0.5, 1. Okay. Okay po. So first step daw po natin ay i-ratio daw po natin itong dalawa. Sorry, lagyan ko lang siya ng dollar. Okay. And then hanapin natin yung contribution. Contribution na lang ilagay natin. Okay. So contribution is equal to 1 minus ito divided by yun. Okay? Nakuha? So yan po yung contribution nila. Okay, after nun, hahanapin natin yung sales in dollar. Okay, sales in dollar is equal sa forecast multiply the selling price. Nakuha. And then syempre, sasum natin to para makuha ko yung weight niya. Ito divided by yung, ayan. Okay po. And then check natin, sum dapat 1. After po nun, ilagay na natin, pinangalanan ko lang siya as denominator. Denominator. Yung denominator natin is simply the contribution multiplied by the weight. So equal ito, multiply sa weight. And then isasum natin. Okay? Question. Malinaw po so far to?
Yes, sir.
Okay. After nyan, ilalagay natin dito, ano daw po yung fixed cost? Ang fixed cost daw po, syempre naka-annual dapat din siya kasi we're talking of annual. Kaso ang given natin is monthly. Ang monthly nga po ay 3,000. Tama, 3,000 per month. So ibig sabihin, ang yearly natin is 36,000. Okay? Then, malalaman malalaman na natin ano yung break-even point in dollars. That is equal sa 36 divided by ito. So, ibig sabihin, nakuha. Questions? Nakuha to. Okay, this is to stay profit must earn this amount per year. Ngayon, break-even point in dollars in terms of per day. Lagay natin. And let's see, working days natin, sabihin natin 312. Okay, 312 days na working. Okay, so meaning, ito divided by 312, ang pangit ng ano eh. Okay, so this must be their daily sales should exceed this amount to stay profitable. Okay? Question? Wala po. Ngayon, for the second concern natin, ito daw po. Okay. He wants also to know the break-even point for the number of sandwiches that he must sold every day. Okay? Ngayon, paano daw po malalaman yun? It's the 6 to 1 multiplied by ganyan divided by the selling price. Okay? So, ilagay natin dito, BEP. Saan ba? Sige, dito na lang. BEP in units. Siyempre, hindi naman pwedeng pagsamasamahin to, di ba, in units. Okay? Hindi pwedeng sabihin na, okay, I should have like 20,000 pieces. Ngayon, kailangan nating ma-identify ilang sandwich, ilang drinks, ilang baked potato ang kailangan. Okay? So, dito, makikita natin 0.621 times 245 divided by 5. So, that is equal sa okay, sa weight niya. Okay, then i-multiply natin yung break-even point daily divided by the selling price. Oops, sorry. May na-miss tayo. F4 ko ito. Ibig sabihin po, ayan. Ibig sabihin, kailangan ko ng ayan. Ibig sabihin, kailangan ko ng 31 pieces ng sandwich na mabenta kada araw. Ang drinks natin, mabenta kada araw ay ang baked potato natin, 24 pieces. Evaluate natin. Pag minultiply ko to sa selling price, anong sum nila? 249. So it should be almost the same as this one. Okay? Question. Okay, should be sold per day. Question? Wala. Nakuha naman po pag multi-product case. Nakuha? Okay? Okay. So, I'm hoping na nakuha natin yan. Okay. So, tuloy natin to. Ito naman guys, simple na. Sige, madali lang naman to eh. So solve lang natin tong madali. So nakalagay design capacity, sulat ko lang. Effective capacity daw po is equal to 40 engines. Okay, so sabihin natin trucks or engine mismo sabagay. Engine per day. Actual okay, calculate daw po natin ang utilization and efficiency. Okay, madali lang to ano? Utilization is equal sa actual output divided by since ang ating efficiency kasi effective capacity, ibig sabihin design capacity to. Design capacity. So, sorry, 36 eraser. So that should be 36 divided by 80. Then you'll have the percentage. Malinaw. Then efficiency is equal sa average output divided by effective capacity. So we have 36 divided by 40 and you'll have the efficiency. Okay? Ngayon, so nakalculate na natin itong dalawa. Efficiency for the next month is expected to be 82%. What is the expected volume? Efficiency of next month, so n plus 1, is equal to 82%. Ang tinatanong, actual output. So, kukunin ko lang sa formula na to. So, cross-multiply lang ako. So, we have 0.82 multiplied by the effective capacity of 80. Ano ang na-expect nating actual output? Okay, meron na tayong engines per day. Madali lang, tama? Simple lang. Simple lang sa ganito. But in reality, guys, ang layo kasi. But in reality, komplikadong-komplikado po ang capacity planning. Okay? Hindi po to biro, guys, yung capacity planning. Yung ideya natin dito, sobrang dali, pero hindi ganyan. Okay. Ito, try natin. Nagmamanufacture daw siya ng store brand item that has a variable cost of ganyan, selling price of ganyan, fixed cost of ganyan. Current volume is 50,000. Can substantially improve the product quality by adding a piece of new equipment, additional fixed cost of 5,000, variable cost would increase ganyan, and the product volume should increase by ganyan. Should the company buy the new equipment? Paano natin siya isosolve? Idea? An idea? Okay. So simply, compare natin yung profit. Diba? Profit is equal to total revenue less total cost. Total profit, so sabihin muna natin for the store brand item that has, so sabihin natin yung current. Okay? Sorry. Yung current natin, so profit is equal total revenue that is 50,000. Tama? 50,000 i-multiply natin sa 1.25 per unit. Ilalas natin yung total cost which is a fixed cost of 12,000 plus yung variable cost na 0.75 multiplied by 50,000. Okay? Makukuha dito yung profit. Malinaw po. Next, ito yung improvement. Ganun din po. So, profit is equal sa, tataas daw po siya, magiging 70K. I-multiply natin yung 70K by The selling price. Ano po ang selling price? 1.25 pa din. Okay, and then minus fixed cost natin, mag-a-add daw po ng 5K. Ibig sabihin 17K na to. Plus variable cost of 1. Variable cost would increase 2. So magiging $1 daw po siya mula 0.75. Then 70K. Then may i-review natin if we're getting higher profit through improvement or through the current. So malalaman natin if we are to buy a new equipment or not. Malinaw. Again, this can be solved in several ways, pero ito yung una ko naisip. Any questions? Wala?
Wala po.
Okay, good. Then ito kaya na nating solve. Okay? Okay. Next. Walang question regarding capacity. Wala naman. Okay, but I just want to show you a few here. For example, may nalimutan tayo eh. May nakita ko dito magandang example. Ito. Ayan. To understand kung nasaan yung capacity, to understand ano ang capacity ng overall system? Okay, paano kaya natin ito malalaman? Sunod-sunod yung ating process. Ano ang overall capacity ng ating process na ito? At saka, ayan, wants to determine the bottleneck time and the throughput time of the process. Paano natin ito malalaman? Okay? Paano? So, syempre, ang out, di ba, minute to. So, kailangan nating maintindihan. Minute, ibig sabihin, matagal yung process ni itong hygienist cleaning. Okay? 24 minutes as compared sa iba. So, ito yung pinaka-bottleneck niya. Okay po? Okay? So, this is the overall bottleneck. Then, nakadepende kung sunod-sunod ba yung process, yung operation na to. Kasi, di ba, pupunta ka sa dentista and then, ayan, yung process mo. Ayan, and then throughput time is maximum of the 2 paths through the system. The path for the X-ray exam is 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 8 plus 6, 27 minutes. While the path through the cleaning operations, 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 24 plus 8 plus 6, that's 46 minutes. So the patient should be out the door after 46 minutes. That's the maximum. Okay? So, ayan, again, just to highlight lang, to identify ano yung mga bottlenecks na to. Yan, another example, ito. Ano ang bottleneck natin dito? Di ba ito? Toaster. That's 40 seconds. Tama? Okay? Ayan. Okay. So, ayan. Ganun lang din naman to kagaya ng kabilang yun. Okay. So, that's for capacity. Next natin is location. Kaya pa, guys? Oo, kaya pa. Mabilis lang to. Okay. Halimbawa, guys, kayo po ay magbibuild ng bagong company. Okay, mag-establish ng bagong warehouse. Kailangan may basihan po yun magiging decision nyo kung saan po dapat ilagay yung warehouse na yun or yung bagong planta na yun. Okay, so part po siya ng feasibility studies natin. Okay, hindi lang dahil sa bakante yung lupa na yun ay doon ka na magtatayo. Okay, so we can have several factors to consider and several strategies that can use dito sa location, identifying the location. Okay, and several methods on identifying yung location strategies na yun. Okay, so ang location decision na to is a long-term strategic decision. Kasi malaking investment. Hindi naman yan pwedeng ilipat-lipat kung saan-saan na lang. That's why maraming companies ang preferred nila na mag-rent muna initially before mag-tayo ng planta. Kasi i-assess muna nila yung market. I-assess muna nila kung tunay ba na andun yung market, na yung mga cost natin ay ganyan lang or so. So that affects the fixed cost and variable cost. Okay? So, ayan, cost focus nga po tayo. Dito, magkano yung magiging gastos mo. We're not after the profit, but at minimizing yung cost impact. Okay, well, for service naman po, it's more of revenue focus naman. Alam niyo naman, revenue for service. Hindi ka naman pwedeng magtayo ng hospital sa bukid, halimbawa, di ba? Or sa isang farm. Or magtayo ng isang, let's say, food is ng Jollibee sa masyadong rural na area or masyadong kukonting tao. So that's why it's revenue focused pag service location. Okay? And then there are several kinds of organizations that look that we should consider. Like for example, government agencies, retail sales. Ito, very practical na naman. Okay? Common sense na yung kailangan paganahin dito. Depende sa kung ano yung kailangan ng ninyo. Halimbawa, if you want na ma-secure na maganda yung market, so magkakaroon ng repeat orders, so dapat accessible sa mga customers. Kung gusto niyo naman na ang production ay less impact sa environment, so dapat malayo kayo dun sa mga maraming tao, 'di ba? And then yun, malapit kayo sa mga raw materials, sa supply ng raw materials. Okay? So yan, and then there are several factors affecting the country decision. Halimbawa, bakit daw po ang mga companies na to ay na-prefer nila sa China as compared sa Philippines? We covered this already before. Okay? Okay. And then, yun nga, magkaiba siya dun sa service and manufacturing sector. Ayan, ito, babasahin nyo na. Kaya nyo na naman to. And then self-explanatory na naman. Okay po. So I'm after dito sa mga methods, location evaluation methods. We can use factor rating, locational break-even, center of gravity, and transportation model. So factor rating, this is the most commonly used kasi napaka-simple nito. Whereas, ilalagay lang po natin yung mga ratings and then mapa tangible or qualitative or quantitative measures. And gumagamit lang tayo ng weighted average. Score the most, siya yung magiging preference natin ng location kung saan tayo magtatayo ng bagong planta, bagong warehouse. So ito yung mga steps niya. Hindi ko na iisa-isahin. And then several factors na kailangan nyo consider. Proximity sa raw materials, that's a prime need. Proximity to markets, especially for the service. Yung costing, labor cost and availability of labor. And then, of course, yung mga local government policies. And then many others. Utilities, including yung sa electricity, internet kung kailangan, and foreign exchange, and quality of life, and so on. So yan. So let's say yan po. You have 3 companies to choose from and you identified several factors to consider. And then you provided weight to them given na, okay, prime need natin is labor. Okay, and then i-scorean nyo yung bawat location alternatives na yun. Halimbawa, Lipa, San Jose, Batangas City. Ilalagay nyo ng score. Okay? And then, halimbawa, yan, nagkaroon na nga ng score, i-analyze nyo na by weighted mean, 10 times 0.3 plus 7, some product, gets na yan. And then, since nga po, the higher the weight here is better, so makikita natin 7.5, so it's the best of the alternatives na pipiliin natin. Okay? Simple lang, factor rating. Nakuha. Nakuha po ito ha. Simple lang to. Okay, dito naman tayo. locational break-even analysis. So dito po, we're using a cost volume analysis. And yun nga, ang mahirap dito, kaya hindi ito masyadong popular, is kailangan mo ma-identify ano yung mga fixed costs, variable costs. Unlike dito, i-weigh mo lang. Although, syempre, may justification ka, bakit 3 lang dito, bakit 5? May criteria ka dyan eh. Pero dito, kailangan maka-quantify mo talaga. Ano yung fixed cost, estimated fixed cost, variable cost, and then so on and so forth. And then, ayan, halimbawa, ayan, you're an analyst for a certain company and you're considering a new manufacturing plant on those 3 locations. Ay, fixed cost per year, naka-identified na. Variable cost per case of this, let's say, hindi ko alam kung ano to eh. Ayan, for their product is 75, ganyan. The price is 120. What is the best location for an expected volume of 2,000 cases per year? So ano daw po yung best location dito given na may mga fixed cost, variable cost tayo? The best way to do that is to identify first the total cost. Ayan. Total cost natin, kaya niyo naman to, 30,000 plus 75, then at x is equal to 2,000. So, ma-identify natin dito which has the which has the highest profit. So, it's letter B or the bowling green. So, siya yung preference natin. Malinaw. Ngayon, malinaw po to, guys. Sinubstitute lang naman total cost, profit, and then revenue, and then cost. Malinaw? I'm hoping nga malinaw pa to kasi parang kagaya lang din to ng break-even kanina. However, syempre hindi naman palagi na 2,000. What if a management unsure pa gaano karaming units ang possible mabenta? So, provided na hindi natin alam yung ilang units yung pina-forecast nila, so ang location natin may be dependent dun sa range of output or sa range of kung ilang units yung mabebenta natin. That can be done through this one. Okay? Actually, best ginagawa siya dito. And then looking on intersection. Ang easiest way to do an analysis here, maalam naman mag-graph you can just put a value of X and then just provide an estimate na kagaya nito. Okay? So, ang nakalagay po dito is yung total cost lang ang nire-review. Kasi same lang naman ang selling price, di ba? So, total cost po itong mga lines na to. So, let's say, ito, papalitan mo lamang, X is equal to 0, then 30,000, nakapoint din sa 30,000 na level dito. Okay? If X is equal to 0 for the bowling green, balikan natin doon, 60,000 plus 45 times 0, then you'll have this one. Then for Chicago, 110,000 plus 25 times 0. Then ayun siya. Malinaw? And then syempre, 2 points can create a line or determine the line. So you can have like, let's say 3,000. What if I put 3,000 here? So this is the value. So substitute nyo lang yung X. Gagawin nyo lang 3,000. Malinaw po yung pagsa-chart. Pag ilagay sa chart. Malinaw? Ayun.
Yes po.
Okay, analysis here. Simple lang. Hindi na natin kailangan actually dumaan sa ganito. Ganyang klaseng analysis. We can just look on the chart kung anong analysis. Remember yung sa theory natin sa what do you call this? Sa OR, yung parang okay, I want to maximize pero may harang. Diba? I want to maximize my profit pero may harang. Okay? So, ito pong line na yan. And then, uy, may line doon. Ito. Uy, tigil. Then, ayun. Okay? Dito marireview. Okay, kung mapapansin nyo itong blue line na yan, the best yan yung Chicago. So, ang Chicago dito, Chicago ay may lowest cost if ang units natin na ipoproduce ay from 20 ay higher than best if units ay greater than 2,500. Malinaw. And yung acro naman po, the best naman po siya, ito ay best if units ay less than 1,000. And in between 10,000, 1,000 and 2,500, the best naman po si Bowling Green as your decision, as the location decision. Question. Question po about this one. Question?
Okay naman po.
Okay ah. So, ayan. Next natin of the strategies yung center of gravity. Ito, napakasimple lang din ito. In your, our target is to find the location of a single facility serving several destinations. Let's say you have target customers and then, target customers and then you're looking for saan ko kaya itatayo yung aking distribution center? Saan ko kaya itatayo si Shopee dito sa Batangas? Given na ito yung aking mga customers. Parang ganun yung konsepto. Okay? So in your, you have to determine the exact location of the existing market or existing destinations. Gaano karami yung volume na i-ship mo and the shipping distance or the cost. Example. Sorry, ito yung formula niya. Simple lang to. Mas madali yung makita sa example. Okay. So we have 4 cities na gustong i-serve. Ngayon, saan mo itatayo yung iyong warehouse? Okay, that's the question. Ngayon, ito po yung parang may coordinates tayo. May coordinates ng given. So ito yung, kung magpupunta ka sa mapa, may latitude, longitude. So ito po yun. Okay? Ngayon, saan mo daw itatayo yung iyong warehouse that would fulfill sa mga pangangailangan ng 4 na cities na to? Malinaw. Malinaw yung goal natin dito. Saan mo itatayo? Dito ba? Dito ba? Dito or dito? So, ibig sabihin, kailangan nating mahanap yung X and Y coordinate niya. Okay? Malinaw po. Malapit ba siya dapat dito sa Chicago? Kung mapapansin nyo, Atlanta and Chicago yung may pinakamataas na volume. So, okay. So, possibly, nandito sa banda dito. Diba? Malapit sa kanila kasi mataas yung demand. Kaso may New York din na malayo naman. So, kailangan din yung i-review. Okay? So, again, to determine that location, that coordinate, or that center of gravity, we may use this formula. Simple lang po. Okay? First, ay ito. For the x coordinate of the warehouse, we're just multiplying 200 times 30 plus 100 times 30. Lahat ng x coordinate, 100 times ito plus 100 plus 200 times 60. Nakuha tong portion na to? Divided by yung total volume, total demand. And then ma-identify natin, okay, this is your x. This is the coordinate for the x. Okay? And then y, similarly, 200 times iyon, 100 times 110, 100 times 130, plus 200 times 40. Ito yun. Divided by yung summation po ulit nito. Then you'll have the y coordinate. Ibig sabihin, the location, it's 66.7, 93.6, 66.7, so nasa banda dito, and then 90, nasa banda dito. Okay, so this is the location of the warehouse given that I'm using a center of gravity addressing all the volumes nito equally. Okay? So ayan. Question about center of gravity. Simple lang, di ba? Simple lang po. I'm hoping na yes. Napakadali lang nito. Walang kakaiba sa formula. Okay po.
Yes po, sir.
Okay, good. Next, of course, we can use transportation model. Din po dito to identify the warehouse kung saang location natin siya ilalagay. We may use linear programming, total production and shipping cost. Ayan, to evaluate kung saan natin ilalagay. Halimbawa, from Chicago to ganyan, ito yung flow niya. And then, magkakonstruct tayo ng ganito. Demand supply, remember yung table natin? Saan nga ba ang demand? Kahit saan man, either naman, demand and supply. And then, yun, makakapag-review na tayo ng location natin. Best location. Okay? So actually ito i-discuss nyo na lang sa facilities, mas detail. But just giving you an overview. Ito, hindi ko na i-cover. Okay lang, kayang-kaya na natin to eh. So yan, pinakita lang naman. So ayun nga, ito, ayun. Ito, then ayun, then iyon. Okay? Nakuha? Okay po. Then, ano pa bang kakaiba? Ito naman is, ang gagamitin ay center of gravity. So 3 times 10 plus 3 times 3 plus 2 times 4 plus 6 times 15 plus 5 times 13 plus 3 times 1 plus 10 times 5 divided by yung total nito. Then you'll have the x coordinate. Then y coordinate 3 times 5 plus 3 times 8 plus 2 times 7 plus so on and so forth. 10 times 5 divided by the sum nito. Then you'll have the x and y coordinate which is ito. Simple. Ganun din to. Okay, question? Wala, simple lang ano. Simple lang po yan. No worries guys, wala akong masyadong ipapagawa sa inyo dito kasi iba yung aking tina-target dito. Ito naman ay dinaanan lang natin. Location strategies and location and layout strategy. Part po yan actually ng facilities planning. Okay. So doon na lang i-discuss in depth. Okay. Next topic, layout strategies. Ito naman, simple lang din to. Layout strategies, ito naman, in relation po sa process strategies din. Your layout may be designed to producing in accordance sa process strategy or maybe sa repetitive strategy or sa product strategy. Ayan. So, itong layout, when we talk of the layout decision, ito yung parang interior, parang halimbawa, classroom, anong itsura ng layout? Halimbawa, Jollibee, anong itsura ng layout? Saan mo itatayo yung cashier? Saan mo itatayo yung mga upuan, yung mga harang, and so. Okay? So, in here po, main consideration natin is higher utilization of space, equipment, and people, and better flow. Information, materials, and people. And then, more flexibility and better interaction with customer and client. Then, several kinds of layouts. Office layout for the retail. So office layout, ayan, ano bang kakaiba dito? Warehouse layout. Okay lang nga, hindi ko na ito masyadong i-discuss. Pag fixed position layout, example niya po yung shipbuilding and ships, paggawa ng ship. Whereas, kung mapapansin nyo, ito yung barko. Yan yung ginagawang barko. Di ba, nasa lupa siya syempre muna. Ayan. Yung mga tao lumalapit mismo dun sa barko. Dun ginagawa. Yung mga machines lumalapit mismo sa barko. Yung mga welding machine nalapit mismo sa barko. Okay, ganun din ang building. Di ba, pag ginagawa siya, syempre, hindi naman pwedeng i-transfer kaagad yung mga building natin. Kumbaga, dun siya ginagawa sa location na yun mismo. Kaya fixed yung position niya. Process-oriented naman po, if mababa yung volume, high yung variety. Also called as job shop. Okay? Then work cell naman po, ito yung repetitive yung ating production. And product-oriented naman po ay more of, we're trying to utilize more of the people, the machine in repetitive and continuous production. So ayan, ilan sa mga considerations natin. Ayan, mga strategies nila. Ayan, office layout. Okay, dito po sa office layout, commonly na ginagamit natin na tool to assess when we are doing some layout is the relationship chart. For example, ito po yung kanyang closeness. Okay? CEO to Chief Manufacturing Officer, kailangan ba magkatabi yung kanilang location? Secretary and CEO, kailangan ba magkadikit yung kanilang location? For example, ito. Secretary and CEO, kung mapapansin nyo, A, Ibig sabihin, absolutely necessary na magkadikit yung kanilang location. Malinaw? Then ito, yung X. Sales area and central files. X. Ibig sabihin, dapat magkalayo yung location nila. Ito yung sales area, andito banda yung central files. Malinaw? Sa halimbawa, ito yung ating floor plan. Okay po. So, sana naintindihan niyo po itong relationship chart na to. Ano ibig sabihin? Okay? So, ito po, absolutely necessary, especially necessary, important, ordinary, unimportant, desirable, non-desirable. Supermarket retail, ito naman po ay whereas ma-maximize natin yung pwedeng bilhin ng mga tao. Okay? So, we're trying to maximize customer exposure. Ayan. Ang gusto kasi natin, yung tao, makaikot. At hindi lang focus sila dito sa produce, sa seafood. Di ba? Goal natin dito, umikot sila. Okay? Then retails. Ayan. Warehousing naman po. Ayan. Minimize yung damage and spoilage. Dito, ensured na dapat may first come, first serve. Or first in, first out. Yun nga, gumagamit ng automated storage and retrieval system. Kagaya nito. Cross-docking. Okay. Ano pa bang kaiba? Okay. Process-oriented naman po. Ito. Okay. Like machines and equipment are grouped together. Kasi nga po, low yung volume nito pero high yung variety. Okay. I think best na ito hindi ko na masyadong i-cover. Okay lang muna to. Skip tayo dito. Pero ang goal po natin dito sa process layout, kung ano yung magkakasama na operations, ano yung magkakapareho na machines, sama-sama sila. Kasi posible na may product-oriented whereas yung ating machine, welding machine na nasa location A, may makikita rin tayo na welding machine sa location B. Okay? Ayan, may mga tools naman na ginagamit dito kagaya nitong craft na whereas depende sa area na available or i-allocate natin dun sa department na yun, we can easily develop through the use of computer kung ano bang magiging itsura ng layout natin. Okay? Then work cells, ayan. Ito, basic concept na din. Rather than ganito, mas maganda ganitong itsura. So less yung movement, less yung motion. And possibly higher output. Ganun din po dito, rather than doing a straight line, pwede po tayong gumamit ng U-shape na production. So it reduces employee movement, which is true, na posibleng ito ay pumunta pa dito. So ito, less lang yung movement nila, circular yung kanilang motion, while improving yung communication and reducing the space. And reducing the number of workers, which is true. Okay. Ngayon, cover ba natin to? So, pag sinabing takt time, it's the total work time available divided by the units required, and workers required is equal to the total operation divided by the takt time. Na-cover nyo naman to sa work study na din, yung talking about takt time. Okay? That's available time divided by the units required. Halimbawa, ito po. Ayan, you have this operation, standard time. Ang assembly nag-take ng, let's say, 50 seconds. Ang painting, let's say, 45 seconds. Testing, 10 seconds. Labeling, 20 seconds. Packing is 15 seconds. Yung total time nila, that's 140 seconds. So that's the total operation time. And given an available time, units, available time natin na 8 hours, and a units required na 600, we can calculate the takt time, which is, ang takt time natin is 8 times 6, 8 times 60, 8 hours per day times 60 minutes divided by, so this is the total available time divided by the 600. So 48 seconds per unit, yun yung ating takt time. Okay? While the workers required, that's the total operations time required. That's 140 divided by the 48. Okay, the 48 um, minutes kasi ito ay 4 seconds. Ayan, siguro sala lang to ng ano. Okay. Or correct, tack time. Tack time, 48 seconds. Ayun, kinonvert na nga pala. Okay, so 48 seconds. So total operations time divided by the tack time. So approximately, we'll need 3 people. Ay, so ito, na-cover na naman ninyo to dati. Ayan, sa assembly. Ayan, product-oriented naman po, it's layout. Okay, product-oriented. Normally, product-oriented is what they call as gumagamit ng fabrication line or assembly line. And ayan po, low variable cost, low handling cost, rapid throughput, but high volume is needed. Okay, so example ng assembly line natin is sa McDonald's. Ayan, ganyan yung itsura niya. Okay? Okay. Then, assembly line balancing, hindi ko na ito i-cover. Nagawa niyo na ito dati. Okay? Tama po ba, guys? Just checking. Assembly line balancing, nagawa na dati. Cycle time, theoretical, number of workstations, and ibabalansin natin, calculating efficiency, idle time. Nagawa niyo na ba ito dati, guys?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, yes po. So, ayan. So, we have task and then the performance and then task must follow based on the listed, based on the task list below. So, A, starting point, and then makakapag-construct tayo ng ganito. And then, may grouping natin. Makakapag-grupo tayo ng sino ba, ilang workstations ba yung kailangan natin. So, to determine let's say you have 480 minutes available and 40 units are required, we can calculate the cycle time. Units available divided by the units required, 12 units per unit. And then we can calculate the number of stations, whereas the 66 divided by 12, or we need 6 stations. And then there are several rules na ginagamit dito sa line balancing, pwedeng longest task time, most following tasks, and then many others. Okay, but most commonly ay yung most number of following tasks. So kung mapapansin nyo, 12 minutes yung cycle time natin, wala naman pwedeng i-combine sa kanya. And then similarly sa B, similar din itong E, it's another workstation na din kasi kung mapapansin nyo, 12 siya. Then 5 plus 4 plus 3, that's okay, 12, pasok na rin po. And then you have station 4, station 5, and station 6. Okay, yan po yung naging groupings. And then eventually, we can calculate the efficiency of the line. Ayan, task time, yung 66 minutes divided by the number of workstations, actual, not the theoretical, multiplied by the cycle time. Then we'll get the line efficiency. Okay. Now, hindi ko na po i-cover yung ibang heuristics, but for your laboratory 15, this should be 15. Introduce ko pa sa inyo any logic. Okay, so you have to select any process, kahit na anong klaseng process po yan, no matter how simple it is. And that will show an assembly line. And you have to draw it, draw the current process, and assess if there are any improvements needed. So ang expected output natin is yung current and proposed layout, anong itsura ng layout natin. Okay, kumbaga yung top view, yung floor plan or so. And then swim lane diagram, sino-sino yung mga taong involved doon. Pwedeng simpleng process na. Halimbawa, paglalaba, pagluluto, or pag-order sa Grab. Ayan, pag-order sa Lazada. That could, pwede naman. Yun nga lang, walang layout yun. But then still, pwede tayong makagawa pa rin ng swim lane VSM. Okay? And then, yun nga, spaghetti diagram. So, spaghetti diagram for the movement of each worker and material. Halimbawa, this is the process. na nagagawin. This involves ayun yung mga table and ito yung mga tao. Okay? And then, ayan, yung tao na yun, iibo dito, pupunta dito, and then pupunta doon. Okay. And then for the second person na yun, pupunta siya dito, and then pupunta siya doon. Okay, so again, na-identify natin. Again, color coding po yan, color coded. Halimbawa, kulay blue yung for the worker 1, then color red naman po for another worker. Pwede rin po tayong mag-search na lang sa net kung gusto niyo mas magandang example for a spaghetti diagram. But definitely, this is very easy to do. And then, yung current and proposed flow chart po. Whatever flow chart po yung gusto nyong i-gamitin. I'm not asking na komplikado po, but kung kaya po nating mas simple yung process, much better. Okay po. And then this can be a thesis na rin po. Okay? Pwedeng gawin nyo na rin po itong as thesis. Ito yung mga kailangan natin as part of the thesis. Okay po. Questions? Questions? Wala. Okay. So hold on po ha. I'll just transition to another laptop. Kasi, any question po? Mag-open lang po ako ng laptop na isa. Walang question, guys? Deadline nito, siguro matagal pa to. May 3. Set natin as May 3 for this one. Okay po. Question? Guys, any question?
Wala naman po, sir.
Wala po. Okay. I-close ko to and then I'll just open a different laptop. Okay. And then, guys, nakapag-install na po kayo ng AnyLogic. Nakapag-install na kayo ng AnyLogic? Hindi pa? Okay? Okay. Which is okay lang naman. Walang problema. Sige tang. Welcome 6. Okay. Okay. Saglit lang po. Open ko lang yun. Okay. So napakahalaga po sa bawat company na meron po tayong way para magkaroon ng data modeling. And some industries, kagaya namin, gumagamit lang kami ng Excel. Pero syempre, may iba pong mas gusto ng mas magandang simulation way para makapag-simulate. And they can make use of this program, yung AnyLogic. Okay? It's very important po. Ito na po yung mga importance, mga what-if scenarios, unlike spreadsheet or solver-based analytics. If you can do a simulation modeling based on the actual data, okay, mas maganda. Okay, and then increase accuracy, saves money. So rather than gagawin siya in actual, pwede naman natin gawin siya virtually. Ayan, mas maganda rin po kasi pwede tayo ditong mag 3D view ng ating AnyLogic. Dito sa AnyLogic. Okay? Okay, so several examples po ay nakalagay po dito. And to download po, ayan. Asan ba yun? Ayan, meron naman po ditong mga webinars na pwede nyo attendan. Sorry, bigay ko sa inyo yung link. Ayan, hindi kasi ako maka-timing na magandang webinar dito. But definitely, ayan, may mga matututunan naman kayo mula dito. And besides, madami naman tayong tutorials. Napakaganda ng tutorials dito. Ayan, maybe I can open one. Ano ba maganda? Ito. Oh, sorry. 8 minutes. Sorry. Gusto ko yung iraran ko na lang eh. Downloads. Ayan. Nasa cloud yun eh. Hold on po ha. Nag-open lang ako ng isang laptop. Okay. With regards to download po, ayan, check na lang po itong Personal Learning Edition. For you guys, this is a free version po. Medyo malaki nga lang yung file, about 1 gig. But then, ayun, makukuha naman natin yung functionality niya. Okay? Now, ayan. So dito po makikita natin yung several models. Halimbawa sa beer distribution, nope, ayoko yan. Agent-based sa COVID, manufacturing. Napakarami po dito guys ng mga models ng existing. Ito po, halimbawa, solar panel production. We can see yung naging paano i-produce ang solar panel. Okay, using simulation. Ito ginawa po nila. Ayun, naka 3D version na rin naman siya. Okay. Sorry. Ayan. And then, pwede nyo pong i-download para makita nyo po yung actual niyang. Okay. Meet Google. Ayan. Okay, and then ito po yung kanyang 2D view. Ganyan yung itsura. Kaya nyo rin naman po itong gawin. No worries. Yes, kayang-kaya. And then meron po tayo dito mga makukuhang statistics, mga konting data. Ayan po. Sa mga agents natin. And then ito yung naging flow. Gaano karami yung na-process and the likes. And then meron tayong statistics dito. Okay? So ayan. And then hanap pa tayo ng another example. Habang nag-open ako ng Meet. Okay. Black. Okay. Allow. To find text. Ayun. Okay. Yun nga lang. Ayun. Okay. And then, ayan, marami pa po tayong ibang examples dito. Are, for the job shop, which is related po sa topic natin kanina. Okay. So, yan. Yan po yung, ito actually, ito yung gagawin nyo eh, ito mismo. So yan, may kinukuha doon, may delivery yung truck, and then may kinukuha yung mga forklift natin. Although mukhang magkakasalubong sila. And then pag napuno na doon, i-deliver na sila, ilalagay na nila sa respective machines kung saan daw nila ipoproduce. So yan, ganyan yung itsura niya. Okay? Okay po. Okay, medyo nabablock. Ayan. And then of course, bukod sa modeling, which is napakaganda po, may mga several statistics dito na ayun, na makakatulong sa inyo to do the analysis. Okay? Pero syempre, hindi naman tayo yung komplikado kaagad. Yun lang sigurong madadali yung ating gagawin. Okay? Ano pa ba? Yun, mga kaya muna nating gawin. Okay po. Ngayon, magta-transition lang po ako sa laptop ha. Okay, so drop ko lang ito na mabilis and then we'll call in again. Okay, so hoping na nakikita po ako. Hoping na nakikita po ako. So, sa gitna po. Continue recording.